Hey everyone. So somehow, I still have no idea how, I managed to take down Micro Millions Event 17, the $2.20 buy-in PLO high-low event. I took it down. There was 11,673 players, and I took it down for 2,500 bucks. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't make too many vlogs, but I just wanted to make a vlog about this tournament, basically give you guys my thoughts on it, on the whole experience, and yeah, just basically share my experience with you guys. So, I mean, it was a crazy day. The whole Micro Millions series has been pretty crazy due to the last man standing challenge that I'm trying to do well in. So I'll get to that. Just I just want to start the vlog off basically by thanking all you guys that sent me positive tweets, some nice Facebook comments. It was really nice waking up the next day and just seeing all the social media notifications. Even though I was super tired, it certainly helped energize me for the day, and I felt really good about it. So thanks for that. And I know the MTT community especially is really good about that. Really good about giving props when somebody makes a deep run, because I mean we're all gonna have our day, right? That's just the nature of tournaments. We're all gonna have our deep runs eventually, and I know for me, if I see somebody that I know or can relate to take down a tournament, I definitely get inspired by that. It definitely becomes more real for me. It's definitely all of a sudden I feel like, okay, if they can do it, like I can do this, even in these massive field events. So I hope you guys can take some inspiration from this run for yourselves. Because I mean, I won a tournament in a format that I basically never play. Um, Almost 12,000 players, and like to be honest with you, before this run, I wasn't really sure like what kind of realistic chance anybody ever has at shipping these events, and like even if it's like, or like what you have to do to actually get it done. I think the biggest field tournament I've won before this is probably like around 3,000 players. So this is just a whole new level, and everyone knows how good value the Micro Millions is, but I mean, to actually take down one of these things, um, is I mean, it's obviously tough. And I think out of all the flagship series, the Scoop, the W Coop, the Micro Millions title is probably the hardest to get, just because of the field sizes. Like, I mean, your chances of winning a $12,000 or 12,000 person $2 tournament, I mean, they got to be way higher than winning a 300 person high roller event. You know what I mean? So that's just what I'm mostly proud of, I guess, is that I got that title under my name, even though the official title kind of came in a very lucky way, because I ended up making a deal heads up, and then pretty much just like potted every hand and ended up winning. But I'll get to that in a sec. So what was I getting at? I mean, yeah. So I hope you guys can take some inspiration from my run, just because I mean, if I can do this in a game that I basically never play, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there's a lot of people that have just as good a chance as me at taking her down. So I guess that's a good segue as to like why would I even play this tournament if I really have no clue what I'm doing. And the answer is pretty simple. I'm basically trying to do well in the last man standing contest going on right now. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a survivor format where you have to cash in at least one tournament in the one Micro Millions tournament per day, and you're still in it. And then there's like $1,000 prize for whoever lasts the longest. It'll probably be split by a bunch of people, so it's not like a ton of incentive with that right now, I guess. But we're also doing our own internal Team Online last longer contest. It's almost the same. It's actually the most consecutive days cashed, not necessarily from day one. So yeah, there's some prizes up for grabs in that too, and there's also I think it's $500 that the winner gets to basically distribute to their following. So I'm doing that for me. I'm doing that for you guys as well, and I've been working really hard at that. Basically, trying to play all the events every day. It's pretty good for being in the Pacific time zone. There aren't really too many events that I have to miss. There's like one that's like really early in the morning, and sometimes I've been waking up for that, just playing on my phone, double up or go to bed, and I've skipped a couple of them. But anyways, that's another topic. I just bring that up because the reason I even entered this tournament is because I was down. I was down to the last two tournaments of the day, and it was the PLO, and then there was like a $4.40 hold'em event that was basically my last two chances to stay in the contest. So yeah, I loaded it up, and basically I was just hoping that I could get lucky and just cash, and then I would just basically call it a day. So there were so many things going on this day. Like was planning on meeting a friend who was in from out of town, and they were flying out the next day. I'd already seen them on Friday night when we hung out and had a good night, so it wasn't like I was blowing them off completely. But I still did make arrangements to have dinner and drinks with them that night. So yeah, like how I envisioned my night going was basically playing this tournament, hopefully cash, not bother playing the next one, go out, have a good night, and then come back the next day to try to cash again. So yeah, obviously that didn't happen, and I also didn't know it was a re-entry tournament. I actually won with my second entry. I busted pretty close to the end of late registration, I think, and I thought I was out, thought it was over, thought my last chance would be in the next Hold'em event, and then the pop-up came up on my screen asking if I wanted to re-enter, so I did, and it turned out to be a pretty good decision, I think, because obviously it worked out well. So yeah, I mean, I can't really just, I mean, I don't know why I seem to do okay in these PLO high-low events. Like, obviously I'm running really well. You have to run really, really well to win any tournament, let alone one with this field size. But there were like really long periods of stretches where once I got some chips, I was able to just keep stealing blinds and chipping up, really playing like small ball poker and not really putting myself at risk for a long time. So it didn't feel like I really luck boxed my way there. I definitely won the key pots that I needed to win, especially early. I think I won like a 3-way all in. Maybe one other 3-way all in later on in the tournament for some massive pots. But I did notice that, I mean, poker is poker to some extent, right? I mean, the same concepts apply when you're playing PLO high-low to no limit hold'em. It's important to steal the blinds. It's important to use your stack to put pressure on other players, use the money bubbles, the final table bubbles, and I definitely did all that. And I mean, it helps obviously when the buy-in's small and the player quality isn't that good, and there's a lot of people in the same boat as me, I think, that weren't too familiar with the game themselves. So obviously that helped, especially being aggressive. Like, I basically, once I got some chips, I mean, there are no antes in this game, so there wasn't a lot of incentive for people to really defend their blinds or play back, and people were just folding so much. I just started basically trying to open up as much as I possibly could, and it's funny, like, I don't know how many tournaments I've shipped this year, not like, definitely less than 10, I think, and on more than one occasion now, whenever I've had something else to do later on in that day, I end up like winning the tournament, I think. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I think I definitely play I play more aggressive when I just don't really care if I'm gonna lose or not. And I mean, I don't go too crazy, but sometimes if you want to win something so bad and you just really try to make it happen, it actually hurts you. You might end up playing too tight. So I really think that actually was a big factor. The fact that the fact that I knew that I was gonna meet my friend if I lost, definitely made it feel like a free roll for me, and I was really just probably being more aggressive than I normally would have been otherwise. And it's the same thing like when I took down the tournament on Valentine's Day. We were out at a restaurant. I was playing on my phone in the restaurant, and I just basically didn't care if I busted or doubled up, and I was just gonna I wasn't just going to punt off my stack because, I mean, the money is somewhat significant at that point, but I definitely played a little bit looser. So, yeah, just kind of funny how things work out, I guess. So, yeah, going back to the tournament, I'm just trying to think if there was anything really noteworthy or anything. I mean, at one point, there was probably like within 100 people left. There was this guy at my table on my right, and he took his whole time bank before every single action. Like, sometimes you hear about this in the higher events, right? People will do this so they're balanced. People can't get their timing tells, whatever. But this guy, I mean, it's a $2 tournament. Every single hand, it was the most tilting thing I've experienced in a long time. Every single hand, under the gun, time bank fold. Raise, 3-bet, time bank fold. I mean, he's on like 20 big blinds. It's just ridiculous. And then whenever he actually made a hand, he would just like get his money in. Like, he just like wanted to shovel the money in, didn't want to like just didn't want to sweat the results. So this went on for like so long too. Like, I was basically, the most exciting thing that happened at this point was like I opened up Pokemon Go, and I was just like looking at my phone to see if any Pokemon were gonna come up. I caught a Gold Batter, or yeah, I think that's the Pokemon, the evolution of Zubat. I caught a Pokemon, and that was the most exciting thing that happened for 3 hours because this guy was tanking every single hand. And needless to say, I was pretty happy when he busted. And then around the final table, I was 1 of 15, and then I lost a bunch of pots. And I think I came to the final table, middle of the pack. And that's another thing, like, the equity is like run really close in this game, and like you learn that pretty fast. So basically, like with my strategy of just trying to steal the blinds, if I opened and a short stack 10 big blinds or less reshoved, you only need like 35% to make that a break even call, and you almost have 40% with like all your hands. So it just became really easy to play actually. And that's what I did basically for most of the tournament, and then yeah, made the final table, middle of the pack. Nothing. I don't think too many meaningful hands really happened. I just kind of sat out of the way, and other people busted around me, and before I knew it, we were 3-handed. And then I think I busted the guy in third to go heads up. And heads up was pretty interesting because there was a deal involved. We started heads up. I was like a 2-1 chip lead, I think, or sorry, 2-1 deficit, and I managed to chip back up to even, and I had all the momentum, and I thought I definitely had an edge on this guy. And then he offered to deal, and I said no. You guys know how I like my deals, so you know I must have been feeling pretty confident at that point. Plus, I still wanted to meet my friend. It was getting late at this point. It was like 10 or 10:30. They were already downtown having some drinks, and I had incentive to deal, but at that point, like I just wanted to try to take down the title. But anyways, we played a little bit longer, and then they won a few hands in a row, and then all of a sudden they almost had a 2-1 chip lead, and then they offered a deal. They offered like basically a 50-50 deal to me. So I just took it. And locked up. I mean, it was certainly a good deal in terms of chip equity for me. Who knows what would have happened if I declined, but yeah, I took the deal, and then technically got the win afterwards, basically just by potting it almost every hand, because I got my money. We were playing for $100 in the title still, but at that point, like, I mean, I had my money locked up. My friends were waiting downtown. I basically just wanted to go join them, and I mean, like I said, we weren't playing for life-changing money. If we're at the Sunday Million, I'm not gonna play the same way, but. Yeah, I mean, equities run so close pre-flop anyways, and I knew that, so I basically just potted every hand and ended up winning a few hands and took it down. So, yeah, it was definitely a cool experience, and it was a long day. Tournament was about 11 or 12 hours. I think it was about 11 hours, and I was up at like 3 in the morning before that tournament even started playing events, so I was on very little sleep to begin with, let alone like not ready for an 11-hour straight grind. So it was grueling, and then I was up the next morning at like 3:30 playing another tournament. So this Micro Millions has been definitely a grind, but I'm working hard, and hopefully I can keep going with this last man standing challenge. And I enjoy it. I enjoy a little bit of a short period of time where I can just really push myself, and then once the series is over, or once I don't cash one day, I'll go back to my regular cash game tournament grind. So anyways, just wanted to do this quick vlog. I'm going to actually be doing a stream tonight with Talon Chick at 8 o'clock Pacific time. And we're going to be going over the final table replay. It should be kind of funny. Should probably won't agree with a few of my plays, which is fine. But yeah, you can catch that at 8 o'clock Pacific time tonight. I know most people might be watching this on the recording, so it won't really matter. But anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope the Micro Millions goes well for you guys that are playing it as well. So I'll catch you later.